Okay, one of these days I remember that I only need to type teach for the command. For some reason I want to call it teach in because I think of spin in, and anyway, we got it. We got it. No music today, and I am doing an experiment. I have my podcast software running also, and I am hoping that I will be able to release just the verbal part of this as a podcast. If I do, I am going to be exalted because I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I am very, very, very far behind on the podcasting right now. And it's just because I really can't find the time to do both, and I don't want to give up either one. So I am working on the solution, and we will see how it goes. I have two Welsh sheep breeds to review today, and you can see one of them here. Both of them have Welsh names, and so I had to go and look up how to pronounce both of them. But they're very small samples. I'm going to do quick breed studies on both of them, and hopefully we can get both going here at the same time. I am only going to release this as one stream because they technically are from the same area. They're small reviews, although it will probably take me 35 to 40 minutes each one to actually do the workup. So let's get going here. This very first one that is spelled Lanenog, if I went to Google and asked how to pronounce it, it's Llanwnog, something like that. I'm sure that is a terrible Welsh accent. I wouldn't even begin to try and work on a Welsh accent. I have a let's see what here. I have a 15-gram sample. I got this and the one we're going to do later at the same time in what was packaged together as called a Welsh breed review pack. And there were multiple different breeds in that pack for the price. So each one is very small and just enough to work up for the breed review, which is exactly what I want. This is not probably a sheep breed fleece that I will ever get here in the United States or get a large quantity of. I am doing this as part of the 52 weeks of sheep study. This one was for week 36. Now I'm not going in order. I've been bouncing all over, and I am almost done with the 52-week study. All right, let's get going here. I got this all in a bag like this, and I already did some separating. This here shows you what the locks look like. They're reasonably long. They have a nice crimp to them. They're very soft feeling. It's a little bit dry. It is not sticky at all. It has been cleaned really well, so this is washed. We've got nice tips going down to a point, and I found these pretty good looking locks, even though there is a little bit of vegetable matter there. We don't have a lot of dirt on the locks. Those I'm going to save as my example of the breed. And then when I went through the rest of it, which is this remainder here, I found what I thought was either good lock structure, dirty tips that I don't want in there, so I'm going to use combs on this particular batch, and whatever else wasn't real distinctive in locks and kind of was puffed up anyway and connected, I put here for cards. I will have more, I think, to card than I will to comb. This last little bit here is what it would look like coming out of the bag. I wanted to show you how I was making my decision. I would pull out the lock like that and decide that that could get combed to take that dirty tip off. And this here, see, it's still kind of connected. This here is just not really in a good lock, and I can pull off that little bit of dirt right there as I pull this apart. It's called picking, but I'm getting it ready for the carders. So these look like it's almost all probably going to go into the hand cards. I got a lock right here. Let's see what that looks like. It's thin, but I'll do that because of the tip, the dirty tip. I have some really short, tiny lock. I don't know if I can get that in there on the combs or not. We'll see. And I am pulling out, if I see a little dirt like that, I'm trying to pull it out as much as possible. And I have one more here. Is this? Nope, this is not an attack lock. It's just a clump of fiber. So we're going to get that all opened up and ready for the cards, the hand cards, and we will start. Now you can see there's some dirt that came out of there, and in fact, I have my good clothes on because we got to run errands after I get done with this, so I'll cover up here a little bit and keep that off of me. All right, these are the hand combs. By now, if you've been watching these, you know how all this works, and I'm sure that it's not always real interesting to sit and watch. If you are interested in the different breeds, you can at least get some of the information about what the fiber looks like and that sort of thing. If you're considering working with it, maybe you're going to try your own little breed study. So, I'm sure there is a little bit of information that you can get from this, skipping around, watching the video on demand. So we're going to comb this, and I need to move this so that you can see my combs better. There we go. Has a tendency to be a little staticky. Like I said, it was kind of dry. And that, of course, it's very, very dry here right now. The furnace runs and runs and runs, and we don't really have a humidifier in the house. We rely on the fact that it's an old house and everything leaks and we get humidity from outside, unfortunately. Now, it looks like I could end up with it all on one comb. I see that some here just doesn't really want to come off. It's getting thinner and thinner. That's pretty good. I can get quite a bit off of there. Only did the 2 passes, and yeah, that worked good. There's what's left, which of course is from the tips and all the really short stuff that's in there. I gotta get my trash can closer. All right, let's pull this off. And we're making top. I love spinning top. I love the results of this. But this is snug. It doesn't want to pull off real easily. I'm being very gentle, trying to get a connected top. I can see some stuff coming through right there. So it's not all going to stay behind there, but we're getting a pretty good, nice string of top. That looks good. So that's one. I think I'm probably going to end up with 3. We'll see. Doesn't work out even, but we'll see. So we're going to load this on the combs. No, I think we're going to end up with 2 and some left over that I may put into the cards, hand cards. Yeah, let's see here. Like I said, I think it's going to be 3. I'll divide it in half. Nothing is guaranteed it'll work. Alright, I got a little bit of odd short stuff there. And you can see there's dirty tips right there that is going to get caught behind there. Hi, Doughy Mess. Welcome. Welcome. Playing with the Welsh breed fiber today. Not playing, but studying it. All right. Let me do this one more time this way. Got one little tip that didn't come off. Go pull it off that. This is very soft. The Winnog is how I could get as close a pronunciation of it. I'm sure that's not how the Welsh say it, but it is a Welsh breed. Okay. When I have such a small sample like this, 15 grams, I hate to even throw any of this away, but there is absolutely no reason that I really want to put that in any of my samples. Let's pull this off. Unfortunately, I will not try. This isn't project bound. It will end up as a little bit of a knitted swatch, a little bit of a twist of the carded and combed fiber, and it'll go in my brief file. All right, last one here. These weren't really in locks, and for that reason I just didn't do the lock spinning idea. Sometimes I have a lot of sample and I will do both a lock spun and a combed top, but there's not enough of that for the kind of study. Oh, look at the static. It is very staticky. Alright. Let's pull this off. I'm going to put, I think, most of this with the other one. Probably the two singles won't come out even, but close. You can see I have to pull pretty hard. I'm holding here really pretty tight. And I am really getting very, very clean top. No tips, no little nubs, no nothing. It's beautiful, beautiful. Because it's all on the back here. Okay, we'll put these away. Set my top here. And we'll card some bats. This has got a lot of short stuff in it. I can see it right there. I just pulled it out. Even with picking it apart, I didn't find everything. Probably could have put just a little bit more on there, but we'll start with that. This has really, really nice crimp to it. I think there'll be some bounce to the yarn. Yeah, there's a little bit of fiber in there. I am going to give it just a little bit of compaction there. Not sure whether I like that or not. We'll find out when I spin it. Almost put that in the trash. Let me fix this. to myself as I work. Hubby's always saying, "You talking to me? You talking to me?" No, I'm talking to myself. I think maybe this could go up a little bit. Now I'm noticing it's not wanting to come off. See there, it's all snagged up in some places. It's not wanting to come off in a nice, smooth bat. It's got this little compacted edge. And I noticed that on the other one too. And that is one of the reasons. And I'm not sure if that's the length of the fiber. It really doesn't seem long when it's all mixed up like that, but it's hard telling. It might be just a tad too long in staple length for the hand cards, and that's what causes that. And you can kind of tell that a little bit by how much hangs over. So I think, what hangs over like that is what we see on this edge. It's getting rolled up when we take it off that way. And that is because it's just a little bit too long of a staple length. A drum carder would do good, I'm pretty sure, because it spreads that out so much more. You have room for that staple length to spread out over a drum carder bat. I think this would card really well on a drum carder. I got this a little bit. Didn't get quite the edge on that time. I'll also, in my haste, maybe overloading the cards. Gotta take it off the side here. And I think I'm going to pull both sides off this time. It's building up on the one hand card. And that also will, see how much was on there? That also will affect how well it cards. So we got an oddball there. Decide what to do with that. And I think I can. Prickly. Okay, we're almost done here. And then we'll spin. Yeah, this hardly had enough to make it pull off.
try that.
Ready to spin? Move this up out of the way and see if we can get that's about as good as we can get. Alright, I'm going to do the carded first because it's right here. And I have to mess with my settings a little bit. Now, carded fiber normally you would do a long draw. I am not going to, I don't think. Let's just try it here. Well, that's not too bad. I thought maybe I'd be getting a lot of thick and thin. I think I'll stick with that. It's not a true long draw because I am pulling the fiber out of the fiber supply instead of pulling back with the fiber supply. So it's a semi-woolen. I'm very fond of semi-woolen spinning. And I may need just a tad more twist. Stop there. Get this out of there. Now, semi-woolen like pulling like this will not work if you pinch back here. It only works if there's distance between your fiber supply, just like the long draw. Okay, this is fighting me. It's not wanting to, it's too much twist for one thing. So that choice of I need more twist was wrong. It wants to be that open. Not very twisted style. Joining is, you get real close, but then you work your way gradually back towards the orifice and your fiber supply. As you can see, my fiber supply is right at my waistline. So I have a distance of about 18 inches, maybe less. And yeah, I am getting thick and thin on occasion. It's very, very standard way my carded breed studies look. Makes a nice cushiony swatch. I'm not going to knit it here today. Yeah, I don't want that short stuff in there. Looks like the fiber has a little bit of halo to it. And I'm just going to finish it up here with a pinch and pull for this single. Let's do the other bobbin. See, I had, actually you can't, but it's Herdwick, one of the other breeds I was doing last week. A little remainder there. And one of the things I love about the Roberta, this electric wheel, is, I tell you what, I don't care what I put it on it will spin it, and it will spin it the first time I turn it on. There is never that much fiddle. You know, when I get my wheel out, especially to ply after I've been spinning, I mean, there's just like fiddle, 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 fiddle. There's so much that has to be right on a treadle wheel that just doesn't have to happen on this electric wheel. It just goes, and I love that. Now I'm having a little more trouble spinning that semi-woolen because the bat is thinned. It's not that thicker bat. I'm going to get into those, but these first two were done right at the end when I was dividing the fiber up a little more, and the bats aren't as thick, and it truly isn't working as well. And I also have an awful lot of short stuff in there, which isn't making it good either. So now I'm in my thicker bats. So the thicker compacted helps with the semi-woolen draw, and will help with the worsted, will help with the true long draw also. So say you do a drum carder bat and you have a nice bat, but you want to do long draw. You're going to take a strip off of that. Before you actually try your long draw, try rolling that strip into just a little bit more like a roll log before you do your long draw. See if that makes it better for you. Hi, Sherryham. Aw, I really appreciate that you got up. Oh, it's so easy to sleep in this time of the year. I have that problem too. I like to sleep in the wintertime. But welcome. This is carded Leanog. Was the closest I could get to a pronunciation. Now, you know, if you're in Britain, you can try and correct me. But I Googled it. It's a Welsh breed. And I'm doing my carded sample right now. Well, hello. I'm sorry, Dork. I missed you. Oh, my goodness, you haven't been here forever. Yes, this is before the East. I mean, this is a Roberta, and I've had it quite a few years. There were other E-spinners out, but yes, it's electric. I love it for sampling because I can change the bobbins real quick. The bobbins are smaller, and I tend to use it all the time for my reed studies. Okay, we're going to ply this. Oh, after I get the bobbin. No wonder that was... I put the bobbin on wrong. Gotta get it. I had it backwards. Okay. Wondered why the leader wasn't near the orifice. Backwards. Alright. Let's try and see what's going on here. Usually I have to increase the pull-in. And as you can see, this is very thick and thin. It's very, it's got some shortcuts in it. It's really true carded bat. Going to see a huge difference in the combed fiber. But it makes a really nice, usable, serviceable 2-ply. Hats and mittens and all that stuff. It's a wonderful, soft wool. It really is. Not going to find it in the United States. It's a British Welsh breed. And I only had 15 grams to work with. Aw, Sherryham, thank you. Yeah, I know. I don't stay up late at night. But, you know, I still wake up later in the wintertime than I do. Yeah, the next couple of weeks with the holidays and everything, I've got 2 things going to happen. I will not be on next Thursday. Sorry, Sherryham, but that's Christmas Eve, so I'm not going to be on then. But I will be on starting December 26th, which is the day after, of course, Christmas, and it's going to be 12 days of Christmas spinning for me. So that means I'm going to get on 12 days in a row. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to try different times. I want to try and hit all of the 24 hours over the 12 days, so 2 hours at different times each day. So you can sleep in guilt-free next Thursday. You got that right. Anyway, I hope people kind of pass the word around, and I will be posting. Of course, it will say when I'm live, and I know it's not going to fit everybody's schedule, but I want to do this for the 12 days of Christmas, which is a sock madness dreamt up thing to do the spinning 12 days of Christmas. So we are going to spin from December 26th through January 6th, which is Rock Day, which is traditionally when women started spinning again. We're going to do that in between those. Okay. Let's do a little bit. Let's take this off. That's why I wanted to count my wraps per inch here. You can see what the yarn looks like. That's 11 wraps per inch. That is actually thinner than I expected for a carded mat. Let me write this down. Let's see, carded. I'm not going to worry about measuring a yardage, but I do want to make myself notes. I have to. Yarn looks like yarn looks like yarn when I make all this stuff, and I have to make myself notes. So I do that with this little kind of card. Let me look at my notes here. Llanwynnog. 11 reps per inch. Carded. I will, like I said, make a knitted swatch out of this and attach a little bit of a twist of the yarn with it and put it in. I use these plastic photo savers for my breed studies. And the only reason I'm taking the time to take this off is because I don't want to get other bobbins out. And I think it measured 11 wraps per inch, but I think it's probably going to puff a little bit. Now this is going to go really, really quick. I only have 2 nests of the top. So this is going to go quick, and then we'll go on to our second one, which is also a Welsh breed. My top is pretty thick. And it's going to pull out in. Yeah, I can gently pull it out and get thin. Ooh, that's nice spinning. Not much there, but it's going to go a long way. I wish I could get the camera right down on this drafting zone. You can see the crimp. Yeah, you can see individual fibers going into the drafting zone. It's pulling out really smooth. It's beautiful. Piece of hay there. Alright, I quit talking because now I'm in the zone. This is just gorgeous. I hate to see it end. There's always a little bit of the stuff you don't want it at the very end, seems like. Little bits. Oh, it looks more yellow because it's being spun more compacted. I didn't really consider the fleece to have a yellowness to it. the fiber looks pretty white to me, but it does sometimes show up in the yarn. Let's do the other single. So when you spin worsted and you're pulling out top, it actually is a pretty slow, especially if you're going for thin. You want and consistent, even single. You want to make sure that what goes into that drafting zone looks the same in width. You're not going to be able to count the number of fibers that go in. God forbid you're spinning that thin, but you will want it to visibly look like what you just put in there, and that's how you get your real consistent single. And your top is going to pull out different all along it, so it's something that you control. And it's also, as you notice, I really keep my eye on the drafting zone when I'm spinning this worsted thin single. And it is a pinch and pull. I don't ever spin a worsted any other way. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put both of these on the same one. Joins can be an issue. You're going to get maybe a little bit of a thicker area while you get going on the drafting zone. This is where I miss music, but I am intentionally not putting music on the Thursday teaching because I'm putting these up on YouTube, and pretzel music is not YouTube safe. YouTube will claim the copyright on it, and I don't want that to happen. But I do want to put them on YouTube because that is a very permanent way for this breed studies and anything else I teach to be available for anybody that wants to watch it. Okay, we're going to ply this. That went by too quickly. That was the kind of fiber you wish you had bunches and bunches of, because it was delicious to spin. I can never get twist to go all the way to the end and stay there. It just untwists automatically every time. Alright. I also ply slower when I'm plying thinner. I'm pulling it as straight back as possible behind the orifice and stopping the pinch and sliding and letting the twist run down into that. And I'm not sure it's going to come out even. I thought I had it separated even. It's hard to judge on when you're spinning thin. It really is. It's hard to judge how much you're going to be able to pull out of that top. Boy, I got that balanced good. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this. I can put this like this. Wrap this like that. I'm just going to fold this back on itself. Oh, I didn't judge. That was too bad. Okay, when you have a white leader and white wool, obviously it's hard to tell. There wasn't as much there as I thought. But I'll still put it on here. This always makes a bulky join. And when I'm doing big skeins of yarn, you know, I don't knit with that bulky join. I cut the skein at that point. All right. Sherry Ham says, my recent hand spun seems to be fluffing up more after I wash it than it used to for equivalent fiber types and blends, even though the singles as spun appear to be the same thickness. Could it be because I inadvertently changed to a more woolen technique? Uh-huh. Very good. Good call. You're not pinching, you're not letting your twist, you're not controlling your twist before you draft. So you get, you know, a little bit of twist running into that drafting zone. And it is. I really pinch hard when I am wanting. Now, if it truly is the same fiber and prep and everything, then yeah, it's a twist thing. Look at this pretty yarn. You know, I always get the prettiest yarns out of the least amount of fiber, and I can't do anything with them except make a swatch. Let's count this. 14 wraps per inch. Couldn't even be 15. I think I'm going to try. This is so well balanced. I think I'm going to make a skein. Like this. That's beautiful. Okay, I am going to write this down. Combed 14 wraps per inch and give myself a label. Would adding more twists to the more woolen spun technique be able to compensate for not keeping the twist out of the drafting zone? You mean run it through again, twist it again, adding more twist? Just depends. Probably not, because once you get, especially if it would be overbalanced, I mean, you would have too much twist, I think. It's worth a try, but I can't say that that's going to make a difference once it's spun. It's not going to keep it from puffing up more, especially if it's already been washed. Um, it's a hard question. I'm not real sure. It's something I would experiment with and find out. All right, don't go away. Just, no, okay, just letting more twist build up before winding on. Yes, while spinning, yes, that is what I'm saying, is you don't want it is two things. You may need more twist, yes, and you don't want the twist to leave until you have it completely drafted out. So you really do stop drafting, run to it, let the twist, and then draft. That's what I call pinch and pull. And that is the most compacted, worsted spun style that you can do. You just do not let any of that twist go past your finger until your drafting is completely done. So you can't do the constant, like almost like plying motion while you're spinning. You have to stop, go, stop, come up here, stop, go, come up here, hold it, stop, go. It's a stop and go thing. Does that make sense? Is that answering it? See my Christmas? It's for left-handers though, and I'm right-handed. My gnome mug. All right, so this was awesome. Now we're going to set up on something different. So don't go away, but wait, there's more. I'm going to put it on my Be Right Back screen, which I changed. So enjoy the snowy scene, and I'll be right back. All right, let me change the, oh, I don't need to change that, never mind. The next one is L-L-E-Y-N. It is also a Welsh breed, and let me get my camera back down here on it. Here we go. It is a 15-gram sample, and it's just exactly almost like what we just did, because it's a Welsh breed, it's from the same vendor, and it really is. It feels a little less soft. That is about the only thing I can say. And there is shorter locks. It's not as long. So this looks like a typical lock right there. And I haven't done anything with this, so you can see it's very clumped together and it feels a little stickier than the other did. It's not as clean. It has, unfortunately, more shortcuts. Right there is a whole bunch. It has the dirty tips. It has good crimp. I can see crimp just like the other one. And I've already saved a little bit for my thing, so I'm going to just start working on carded or combed here. It is, I checked the pronunciation, and Sherry, thank you. I like that snow scene. I took that. That road was the road I used to drive every day to go to work. And in the wintertime, well, anytime, it's up in the hills, because I live in a valley and there's hills all around me. And every season has its beauty. When I would go to work, I would see, the springtime and be excited about the leaves coming out, and the fall with the color, and that was a snow scene that I took, and I love it too. Okay, so I tried looking this word up and pronounce, and there are two ways of saying it, and they say the Welsh, it sounds like, the double L sounds like an S, slain. So they pronounce this word slain. The regular, for us English people, they pronounce the double L like a W. When. Wayne. It's not Wayne, it's when. W-E-N is the way it sounds. So, I don't know which way I want to say it, and I probably am not going to say it much, but whether you call it slain or when, I like slain. I kind of like that. This is another Welsh breed. And I am, quite honestly, because of time, only going to do the little bit of discussion about it and separate and all that sort of thing. I think it's going to spin up very similar. I'm not going to take the time to card and comb it here today on the stream, but I do want to talk about it as I pull it apart here and find the different locks. You can see the crimp. Like I said, it feels a little more sticky, residue of the lanolin. It may have been a higher lanolin fleece. That often happens when it's a higher lanolin. But I am really finding very, very few distinct locks. And this would be awesome, either carded or combed, because it's about the right length. The only thing I might try is pull off enough to do one hand card so that I can see if there's a difference in how much hangs over, like I was talking about with the other one. These Welsh mountain they live in some pretty rugged terrain. They need a good protection from the weather. They're often, they're out on pasture and not necessarily protected with a barn or anything like that. They're not brought in at night. And so their coat would be something you want to be impervious to the rain and, not soak through. And of course, wool is good for that anyway. You can see I am picking out dirt. There are dirty tips. On the ones with the dirty tips, I'm putting those, if I can pull them, for the hand cards. For the hand comb. My apologies, for the combs. Because again, like I said, it takes those tips off. And you saw how beautiful the top can be. I wonder, you know, as I work with this, even if I pull it all apart like this, I can still put it on the combs. And I am thinking maybe I'll comb all this sample instead of carding the vast majority of it. And I generally pull locks to comb, but I don't have to. I can pull, I can load the combs with this general fiber. And that's probably, I think that's what I'm going to do for this stream, is just do one bat. I am still pulling off some of these tips or locks, but I think I'm going to do one bat from what I've picked apart, and I'm going to do one comb full so that you can see that it doesn't have to be a lock in order to be top. There is. The other reason I'm saying, besides the fact that I have so much fun spinning the top, and I'm tired of the same looking lumpy bumpy yarn that I get with the semi-worsted spinning, that I think that's one of the reasons I want to go ahead and do most of it with the combs. It'll waste a lot. Sometimes when there's so much waste like that, I will go ahead and put it into a bat and just make a real textural yarn. Alright, I've picked apart enough to do what I want to do. This can still be done later. And to give you more room, I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to spin this. There we go. Now you can see real good. So let's make a bat and see what it looks like here. Get the combing part and carding part into the camera. Alright, my decision, I start it, I take it halfway. My decision is based mostly on this process right here, taking it off like this and what it looks like. Looks about the same, really. I can't say that it really was as long or short. It looks about the same. It's carded up nice. It carded up real nice. And I will get a yarn that looks just like what we had on the other one. And then I'll get my combs here and show that you can put these locks on, you know, by locking each lock on like this. It locks on like that. You can do that. But you can also take stuff that you have picked apart and just load the comb by going down with it and pulling away, down with it and pulling away. The pull away is to make sure you've really lashed it on. And then you comb it. I didn't put very much on there, so I won't get a lot of top. I'm going to go back the other way. And try to get as much or all of it to transfer off of this right, left-hand comb. A little bit left. Not much. And that's typical waist. I'll pull off this top. And as you can see, it looks exactly the same as if you had locks. It's pulling the same. I have to be careful to keep it connected, you know. Grab sort of the same amount coming out. It's like drafting in a way. That one broke. I can add a little more to it by pulling on them individually here, going up and down across the comb until I have a top. And it's thinner. I mean, I didn't get as much fiber in there. But that has nothing to do with what you loaded the comb with. Now your waist is a little bit different. You still have the nubs and everything. Oh, hang on. So, you know, unfortunately, I have to make the decision. Do I put that back into the fiber for the bat and then have the lumps in the yarn because I have so little, you know. It's hard to throw it away when it was such a small amount. When I have lots and lots, a whole fleece, I don't put it back anywhere. I throw it away or use it for stuffing or something. Sherry Ham, thank you. I appreciate you staying with me all this time. And yeah, brave your wool combs. What do you do with the fibers remaining on comb? I was just talking about that. I have to make the decision whether I want those. They are definite shortcut and lumps and bumps. So if you want that as part of your design, you can put it back into a carded bat. You won't ever be able to comb it more. It's not going to fix it. The comb has already taken those out. It's never going to put it into top again. The only option is to put it into a carded bat, spin a lumpy bumpy yarn, or use it, dye it up, mix it with another color, make that a textural interest, or unfortunately pitch it. And like I said, when I have a whole fleece, I usually pitch it. I did a Shetland fleece recently, I mean over the last year or so, and I combed all of that, and I kept it was dyed, so I had a whole bunch of different colors, and I kept all the comb waste, and I was not using these little combs, I was using my big combs, and I kept all the comb waste, and I am going to try wet felting a picture. So, you know, I'm going to take some that is pink and try to make a symbolic like flower, and I have a lot of green. So I thought about doing a wet felted picture with all of that. And that, you know, that's a possibility. Sherry Ham, that's a very good idea. The dryer balls, you would probably want to spin it into a rough yarn and make your ball that way. If you've looked at the videos on YouTube about the different ways to make the dryer balls, I don't know that you could get the ball to felt if you just were using this. You might be able to, I don't know, you know, but you could play around with that. You could just keep building it up and wrap it like they did, you know, they wrap it with the yarn and wash it. I think it would work, actually. Now that you mention it, I think it would work good. So there's always some use for it, and you don't have to settle for bumps in your yarn unless you want them there. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, and thank you everybody for watching. I loved having people chatting today. That was awesome. Really, really awesome. And Sherry Ham, I hope that you can take a nap this afternoon. And let me just say real quick, I will be on Sunday. It's Eastern Standard Time right now. It's just a little after high noon, so you can adjust your brain for that. And I will be spinning, plying on Sunday, and I have love to have people come along and chat because I get so bored when I'm plying. So hope you can join me on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. I will not stream next Thursday. Everybody have a wonderful, happy new Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day. And then I'm going to start on the 26th. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to start at 1 o'clock in the morning, my time. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be quite interesting to do this 12 days of Christmas. I have no idea what projects I'm going to do, but it should change frequently because what I have is a huge basket full of unfinished things like this, the breed review. And I really need to get that taken care of and put away so that I can start the new year with some other projects that need to be done. So that is the plan, to work on those projects during that 12 days of Christmas. All right, we're going to call it. Have a great day. Hope the sun shines on you. Stay warm, stay healthy, and happy spinning.